Have you ever felt like life was falling apart beneath your feet? Like everything you once thought was stable was suddenly shaking? In those moments, fear creeps in and whispers, "Run." Pressure shouts, "Take control." Your heart races, your thoughts spiral, and the foundation you stood on begins to feel more like quicksand. If you've been there, you're not alone. But in the middle of that storm, Psalm 11 offers a lifeline, a powerful reminder that anchors the soul when everything feels uncertain. Written by David during a time of intense personal danger, this psalm isn't just a poetic expression of fear and faith, it is a battle cry of trust. In just 7 verses, David shows us how to stand when everything else is shaking, giving us 4 unshakable reasons to trust God in every season of chaos. First, David reminds us that God is still on the throne. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. That one truth changes everything. Think of it like being on a turbulent flight, tossed side to side, anxiety building. But then the calm, confident voice of the pilot comes over the intercom and says, "We've got this." Suddenly, your heart settles. That's what David is doing. He's reminding us that no matter how wild the turbulence of life becomes, God has not stepped down. Your situation may be unexpected to you, but it hasn't surprised God. He remains sovereign, steady, and seated in authority. He rules above every fear, every betrayal, every diagnosis, every financial burden, and he has not lost control for a single moment. And because he reigns, you can rest. But God's rule isn't distant or detached. David goes on to reveal that God sees and he tests. That means he's not just aware of your pain, he's involved in it. Trials are not signs of abandonment. They are instruments of refinement. Like gold refined in fire, your faith is being purified through the heat of your current trial. James 1 verse 2-3 tells us that the testing of our faith produces perseverance, and perseverance leads to maturity. So when it feels like everything is on fire around you, know this: it's not to destroy you, it's to develop you. God is shaping your character, deepening your trust, and preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. He's with you in the fire, not just watching from a distance, but walking through it with you, strengthening you every step of the way. And in the midst of the fire, when the temptation to retaliate, lash out, or take justice into your own hands arises, David reminds us of a third truth: God is just. David himself had multiple opportunities to strike back at King Saul, who hunted him down with hatred and jealousy. Yet David chose the harder path. He waited on God for justice. That wasn't weakness, it was wisdom. Maybe you've been betrayed by someone you trusted, overlooked at work, or mistreated by someone close. The world might tell you to get even, to prove them wrong, to protect yourself. But God offers another way, one that leads to peace. When you release the desire for revenge, you make space for God to move on your behalf. You no longer carry the heavy weight of bitterness or retaliation. Instead, you rest in the assurance that God sees every injustice and will make it right in His perfect time. You don't need to carry what He has promised to handle. Finally, David closes with a beautiful hope. God favors the righteous. The Lord is righteous. The upright shall see His face. You don't have to be perfect, just faithful. God honors integrity. Maybe you're the parent doing your best with little, the student who stands for truth in a culture of compromise, the employee working hard behind the scenes while no one seems to notice. God sees you, and His favor is far better than human recognition or fleeting applause. His eyes are on the upright. He blesses those who walk in His ways, even when it's hard, even when it feels unseen. In a world that often celebrates the loudest and the proudest, God quietly lifts up the humble and the faithful. So what do when everything inside of you says, run? When fear screams and pressure presses in from every side? David answers it right from the beginning. In the Lord I take refuge. He doesn't run away from the battle. He runs into the presence of God. That is the safest place you could ever be. Not the escape, not control, but surrender. Unguarded trust in the one who rules above it all. Because even when the foundations of your life seem shattered, you are not abandoned. You are not without hope. Your trust is not in circumstances that shift. It's in the unshakable King who never does. So take a breath. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to trust the one who holds everything. Today, make that choice. In the Lord, I take refuge. And if this truth has brought peace to your heart, share it with someone else who needs to hear that God is still on the throne, still watching, still refining, still just, still good. Let Psalm 11 remind you and them alike. The presence of God is not just your shelter, it is your victory.